From Studio B, this is WGALA Brainbusters. Now, here's your host, Rich Rosen.
Well, greetings to all and welcome to the 23rd season of WGALA Brainbusters. I'm Rich Rosen and I'm here to host these 6 young people in an intense competition and a great brain ball. So far, Penn Manor secured a position in round 2. I wonder what today will bring with Bermudian Springs and Hempfield. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's dive right into today's opening round. We have 10-point questions. A little bit easier to start off, but it gets everybody warmed up. Pick up those signaling buttons and let's use them frequently, beginning now. She became the second longest living former First Lady after Bess Truman, who died at the age of 97, but she and her husband hold the record for the longest presidential marriage in U.S. history. Carter.
Rosalind Carter.
Rosalind Carter was the former First Lady. She was 96 when she died. If you traveled due west from Vermont or Massachusetts or Connecticut, which state would you reach first? Carter again.
New York.
New York, you're correct again. He followed Benjamin Franklin as minister to France. He also followed John Adams as president of the United States. Who was our third president, Chase?
Thomas Jefferson.
He's the one. The state of Alaska borders this Canadian territory where gold was discovered. Mitchell.
Yukon.
The Yukon Territory was in the Klondike in 1897, and that gets Bermudian Springs on the board. In 1977, Reggie Jackson hit 3 home runs in 1 World Series game. In 2011, Albert Pujols did it. Also, in 2012, Pablo Sandoval hit 3 home runs in a World Series. What player did it twice in 1926 and 1928? Roman.
Babe Ruth.
He's the one. Crimes against peace, crimes against humanity, and the war crimes were the charges against Goering, Hess, and other Nazi leaders. In what Bavarian city were these trials held, Chase?
Nuremberg.
In Nuremberg, of course. In Shakespeare's King Lear, she marries the King of France. Who was the youngest daughter? Chase again.
Cornelia.
Say that again?
Cornelia.
No, not Cornelia. I'm so sorry. Can't accept it. No, it's Cordelia is the correct response. I'm sorry, I can't accept that. Prior to being acquired by Bank of America, the name of this Wall Street brokerage firm ended with Pierce, Fenner, and Smith Incorporated. What are the first 2 names in this partnership of bullish brokers? Oh, I'm sure you've heard the commercial before for Merrill Lynch. Its new name is Bank of America and B of A Securities. In one book, he has to fight a glob called Oobleck. In another, he has 500 hats. Chase.
Bartholomew.
I need the last name.
Did not know that, I'm sorry.
Oh, I can't accept it. Any idea, Bermudian Springs? Oh, it's Cubbins, Bartholomew Cubbins. In 1951, William Morgan received a standing ovation at a meeting of the American Astronomical Society because he had finally determined the structure of the Milky Way galaxy. What is the shape of the galaxy we live in, Mitchell?
Bard Spiral.
It is indeed, yes. Timmy Tiptoes, Pigling Bland, and Squirrel Nutkin are all characters created by the author who created Flopsy, Mopsy, and Peter Rabbit. What's her name? Chase.
Beatrice Potter.
She's the one. George Gershwin wrote the music. His brother Ira wrote the lyrics. The songs include Summertime, A Woman is a Sometime Thing, and It Ain't Necessarily So. Carter.
I Got Rhythm.
No, sorry, incorrect. Roman?
Rhapsody in Blue.
No, sorry. The name of the folk opera is Porgy and Bess. The energy released was equivalent to 16 kilotons of TNT. What radioactive element was used in the atomic bomb dropped on Nagasaki? Mitchell?
Uranium.
Not uranium, no, sorry. Chase.
Plutonium.
Plutonium's correct. Plutonium-239 to be exact. The name of these Afrikaners is the Dutch word for farmer. Chase.
Boers.
You are correct. They are the South Africans. The time you won your town race, we chaired you through the marketplace. According to the title of this A.E. Housman poem, to whom is the poet speaking? Chase.
To an athlete dying young.
You are correct for 10 points. This cabinet department includes the IRS, the U.S. Mint, the Bureau of Engraving and Printing. Chase.
The Treasury.
The Treasury Department. It also includes the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. This novel by John Steinbeck takes its title from the Battle Hymn of the Republic. Chase.
The Grapes of Wrath.
The Grapes of Wrath. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. In the late 19th century, Indian battles fought in this state include Killdeer Mountain, Yellowstone, and Little Bighorn. What state is it? Roman.
Colorado.
Not Colorado, no, sorry. Zeke?
South Dakota.
Oh, you're both incorrect. Sorry, it's Montana. At least one critic thinks this novel contains an unsolved murder mystery. His solution? He thinks Chillingworth. We're going for the Scarlet Letter. Well, that sound takes us to the end of our first round. Gives us a chance to take a quick breather, because we need that, because the one-on-one rapid fire and team lightning rounds are coming up after this short break.
WGAL8 Brainbusters will return after this. Participants on WGAL8 Brainbusters each receive this drawstring tote bag, and the top 4 winning teams will share grants totaling $10,000. So good luck, teams. Now, here's Rich with our coaches and alternates.
Well, hi. These students are sharp, and they are demonstrating their intellect right here at Studio B. But let's take the focus away from the game for a little bit to meet some other very important people, our coaches and alternates. First, it's such a pleasure to say hello once again to Mr. Shane Miller. Shane Miller, you teach chemistry at Bermudian Springs. So here's a question I like to ask coaches. What do you think is something special about your school? What makes Bermudian Springs such a great district to work at and to be a student at?
Frankly, it's our students. They're very involved and motivated, willing to go the extra mile in class and in extracurriculars. And for such a small district, that's rare to find.
And as far as I know, Bermudian Springs was one of the first that went to the one-on-one, where each student was given a computer in the entire area, if I recall.
Yes.
And you still are very technologically
Yes.
advanced in that. For a small district, that's really impressive. And now let's meet today's alternate from Bermudian Springs, Milton Eaton. And you're a senior, and it's great to have you here. So you're a senior, and it sounds to me, from basically what I read and speaking to you, that the music department is going to miss you at Bermudian Springs.
I sure do hope so.
What are some things that you participate in?
I participate in the concert band, the concert choir. I'm in the Eagle Singers, a special audition group, and I'm in the musical, and I just finished the marching band my last year.
Wow. All right, they are going to miss you. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for supporting your team. And now let's head over to Hempfield and say hello to Mr. John Frick. Mr. John Frick has been a coach for how many years? 23 years. So you've been every season here, and it's great to have you here. He teaches English at Hempfield. And I guess the question that's always fun to ask a teacher is there something about you that might surprise your students if they were to learn about you? Something?
Because I've been taking a lot of grad work and doing other things and reading essays, I don't tend to read a whole lot in my free time. It's like the carpenter coming home and having to build cabinets. I just want to go out and do and be and experience. Still read a lot, but more nonfiction than fiction. I think my students, that when I go Great Expectations crazy on them, might be surprised that I'm not reading Victorian literature in all of my
Especially
free time.
being an English teacher.
Right.
And you're so familiar with the stuff that you're teaching, so you can almost recite them by memory, I'm certain, on some of the...
Pip has his moments in my head, sure. Yeah.
I'm sure. Well, let's meet today's alternate. Now, today's alternate is really special. Can you remind me of your name? I'm so sorry.
Vaughn.
Von Eckert. Von Eckert, thank you very much. And Von Eckert, in 2018, was a 5th grader. And Von, you have been on Brainbusters before.
I have indeed.
Can you tell us how? And
Sure. In 5th grade, there was this opportunity where the school would take 4 people and we would go compete on an elementary version of Brainbusters.
And this was because Hempfield was in the finale, and we had what we call the future Brainbusters. And here you are in the future. That really means a lot to me, and thank you so much. And I hope you had as much fun then as you are currently here. And we hope to see you continue on and playing on Brainbusters. All right, well, the moment has arrived. It's now time to pit our individual players against each other in today's one-on-one rapid fire round. Gives us a chance also to meet our players and find out what's happening in their very busy lives. So first, let's meet Amelia Jones. And you're a sophomore, first time here, and it's great to have you here. And even, it's so important to look at the positive side of things. You know, a lot of, maybe you didn't get a good grade or something, but you've had a lot of victories already. Tell us about some of the victories in your life.
One particular group that I think I've experienced a lot of victories in is my writing, as I've achieved multiple different awards, such as the Gold Key for Scholastic.
Oh, that's impressive. Is writing something that you're going to continue pursuing?
I believe so.
There's nothing like being a good writer, and when I receive something that somebody wrote that's beautifully written, it's just, it's such something to admire. Well, good for you, Amelia. Thanks for being here. Now, Zeke Stevens, you're a senior. Zeke, you've been here before, but 2 years ago, you weren't here last year because you were out of the country.
Yes, last year I participated in a year-long, well, 10 months exchange program in Germany. I got a scholarship, government funded, to do that, and it was a really great experience. A lot of opportunity for me to discover that other culture and to really cross an ocean of difference and grow as a person as well.
It's life-changing. There's no
Yeah.
question about it. What about your German skills? Were they enhanced?
Yes, definitely.
Were you able to learn math in German?
Well, I feel like numbers are the same no matter where you go. Math has always been a passion of mine. So.
So you were able to handle that?
Yeah, chemistry was difficult though.
I'll bet. All right. Well, thanks for sharing. Good for you. Amelia and Zeke, two very interesting people. Let's put you two one-on-one. In 2012, it was 50 and Counting Tour. In 2015, it was the Zip Code Tour. In 2019, No Filter Tour. And in 2024, it's Hackney Diamonds Tour. What is this legendary rock band formed in 1962 and still touring? Zeke.
The Rolling Stones.
The Rolling Stones is correct for 10 points. Radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, and X-rays all travel at the same speed, about 186,000 miles per second. How fast is that? Amelia.
The speed of light.
It is indeed the speed of light for 10 points. And finally, the title is Tibetan for Ocean Monk because he is considered an ocean of compassion. Who is this traditional leader of the Lamaist religion? Aziz?
Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama is the Lamaist religion in Tibet and Mongolia. Good for you. 40 to 120, a strong lead right now for Hemphill, but everything can change as we meet our two captains. First, Roman Diaz Jr. Great to have you back. Thank you for being here. Now, there's a question that we've asked is, what is the most valuable thing you own? You know, that's always a difficult question, but there's something very special that you own that means a lot to you that I'm asking if you could share with us about this meaningful and powerful thing that you have.
For Christmas this year, I got two framed photos of my father, and he means a lot to me. He's currently watching over me. God bless his soul. And it was hard just moving on, but I can safely say just seeing his face on my nightstand as I wake up.
Good for you. Grief is something that we all have to deal with and overcome, and you're not alone in that, and I really appreciate you sharing that, and bless you and bless your father. And now let's say hello to Chase Barrick. He is a senior. You've been here since you've been in 9th grade, and it's great to have you here. And the question I'd like to ask you is, in your lifetime, and I mean you have a long life ahead of you, what is one thing that you maybe would really like to accomplish?
Well, I suppose it's a bit of a change in tone, unfortunately. But my big passion is urban design and urban renewal. And so I would like to be able to participate in helping to make cities in North America more friendly to the humans who live in them.
Well, I appreciate that because there's so much overdevelopment happening even right here in central Pennsylvania. And we do have to keep it under control. Now there's a big call to reduce parking and increase housing. And I'm sure hopefully you can get involved in helping us. We need our parking spaces, I think, but I understand the difference. Chase and Roman, let's put you two one-on-one. According to NBC News, no single person this year has captivated public conversation like she has. So much so that Time Magazine has named her the 2023 Person of the Year. Who is this phenom, Roman?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is the phenom, yes.
I buzzed in for that. Excuse me?
Did you buzz in?
Yes, I buzzed in before he did.
Oh, okay, so we're going to skip the question and we're going to go to another question. It's no big deal. This is another question. I'm sorry I didn't hear the buzzer. Ariel, Calibri, Tahoma, Garibond, and Cambrian. Roman.
Fonts?
They're all fonts. You are correct, so 10 points for you. All animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Roman.
Animal Farm?
Animal Farm is the short novel by George Orwell where these names appear. And finally, technically it isn't part of Canada. It still hasn't signed the new Canadian Constitution, passed in 1982. Chase.
The province of Quebec.
Quebec is the French-speaking province. You are correct. We have 60 to 120. Now we're going to meet our third players. First, we're going to say hello to Mitchell Eaton, and you are obviously the brother of the young man who was up here, the musician. And it's great to have you both here from Bermudian Springs. And you are a junior, but you're still thinking about some short-term and long-term goals. So what might be some of your immediate goals that you're looking at?
Yeah, so for college, I wanted to head to Penn State to study meteorology. And I think it's always funny because my classmates know this, and they always come talk to me and ask me saying, how much snow are we going to get this year? And I always have to tell them, we don't know that. We can't go too far out. So.
But this is a great profession because, you know, the News 8 obviously spends a lot of time on weather. So maybe we'll see you here working here one day. You never know.
Yeah, I've considered it.
Right next door at Studio A. Carter Gingrich, and you are a junior over at Hempfield, and it's great to have you here. Thank you for being with us today. And you are very talented, apparently, in the music arena. You have a lot of instruments that you play. And
yeah, I would say I have a lot of experience and skill related to music. I've been playing percussion for about 7 years, and you know, I've made a lot of honor ensembles and helped my school ensembles grow a lot through playing marimba, all sorts of instruments.
Do you have a drum set at home?
I do. I don't play it as much as I'd like, but
I'll bet your parents are grateful to that. Carter and Mitchell, let's put you two one-on-one. In 1865, Mary Surratt was hanged for her part in the conspiracy. Whose assassination had been planned in Mary Surratt's boarding house? Mitchell.
Abraham Lincoln.
He's the one, yes. In December 2023, Antony Blinken traveled to Mexico City, meeting with Mexican President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador over a record number of migrants flowing through Mexico toward the U.S. border. What is Antony Blinken's role? Carter.
Secretary of State?
He is the U.S. Secretary of State since 2021. And finally, Shrek, Yoda the Grinch, the Incredible Hulk, Godzilla, the Wicked Witch. Carter.
Green?
They're all green. Kermit the Frog, the feature that they all have in common is that they're all green. 70 to 150. We're now going to pick up the pace and play today's 60-second team lightning round. Bermudian Springs, you have a little work cut out for you, but it's still early in the game. So here are 3 quizzes from which to choose. Roman, it's up to you to select for your team. Let's eat early 20th, first century movies and words beginning with HY.
May I consult with my team?
Sure, of course.
Words beginning with HY, please.
Words beginning with HY. All the answers in the following questions all begin with HY. So for 10 points each, identify the following. Roman, I take your answers, the team's answer. Amelia and Mitchell are ready to help you along. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Okay, so good luck to all 3 of you, and here we go. The most abundant element in the universe by far.
Hydrogen.
Correct. A song of praise or thanksgiving, especially a religious
Hymn.
one. Hymn, yes. The side of the right angle opposite the right angle.
Hypotenuse.
Hypotenuse, yes. HCl.
Hydrochloric? No.
Hydrochloric acid is the correct answer. A figure of speech that uses exaggeration for effect.
Hyperbole.
Correct. Don't laugh. They're the dog-like scavengers of the subterranean
Hyena.
Africa. Hyenas, right. Dr. Henry Jekyll's alter ego.
Hyde.
Hyde, Mr. Hyde, yes. It's a neurotic concern about the state of one's health.
Skip.
Hypochondria. This punctuation mark is used to connect parts of
Hyphen.
a compound word. Yes, that's correct. The science of health and the prevention of disease.
Skip.
Hygiene. This conic section intersects both halves of a right circular cone.
Hyperbola.
That's correct. Hyperbole. Yes, an artificially induced sleep-like condition.
Hypnosis.
Hypnosis. Yes, the offspring of genetically dissimilar parents.
Skip.
Hybrid. The cultivation of plants in water rather than soil.
Skip.
Hydroponics. A conjecture uses the basis for further investigation. That's hypotheses. We had 9 correct. 90 points came your way. Chase, we have 2 more quizzes remaining for you. Let's eat in early 21st century movies.
Sure. Let's eat, please.
Let's eat. Think of this as your quiz du jour. For 10 points each, answer these questions about terms you might hear while eating out. So Chase, I take your answers, the team's answer. Carter and Zeke are ready to help you along. 60 seconds on the clock, which will begin after I finish reading the first question. Good luck, and here we go. A dessert served with a scoop of ice cream is a la?
Mode.
Correct. You can order dishes individually from the menu or a la?
Cart.
Cart is correct. Chopped chicken and cream sauce with mushrooms is chicken a la?
Pass.
A la king. Fromage is French for this dairy product.
Cheese.
Correct. It's food served as an appetizer like cheese puffs or stuffed mushrooms.
Hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres is correct. If you order your dessert flambé, how will it be presented?
On fire.
On fire or in flames. It's a thin French pancake.
A crepe.
A crepe. It's coffee with milk, sometimes in equal amounts.
Latte.
A latte or cafe au lait, yes. Poulet is that French for fish, pork, or chicken.
Chicken.
Chicken is correct. Almondine dishes are covered with these nuts.
Pass.
Almonds to soak meat in a spicy liquid until it absorbs the flavors.
Braise.
No, marinate. If your vegetables are sautéed, have they been baked, fried, or boiled?
Fried.
They're fried, yes. A lightly fluffy baked egg puff from the French word to blow.
Omelette.
Soufflé. Food served on brochette is cooked how? on a skewer. They had 9 correct also, so 90 points came your way. We have a score of 160 to 240. It's now time to reveal today's bonus Brainbuster category. So during our break, our teams will wager 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of Islam. So we'll have the bonus Brainbuster and, of course, the all-important Final Frenzy when WGALA Brainbusters continues following this.
Watch all this season's episodes of WGAL8 Brainbusters anytime on WGAL.com. Our online home also includes our tournament schedule and a chance to learn more about the show and host Rich Rosen. Go to WGAL.com and click on Brainbusters.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome back to Studio B as we continue our 23rd season of WGAL8 Brainbusters. And today we have Bermudian Springs and Hempfield. We have a great game going. Hempfield has a slight lead of 80 points, but everything can change now because we have 2 very important rounds coming up, including the bonus Brainbuster. During our break, our teams wagered 0 to 25 points based on their knowledge of Islam. Let's head into the News 8 newsroom with Brian Roach. He has today's question. Brian, welcome back to Brainbusters.
Thanks, Rich. Now here's your bonus Brainbuster question. Islam is not only a religion, it's also a way of life with protocols, rules, and customs that govern all aspects of life. Since food is an important part of daily life, dietary rules have special meaning, so Muslims eat according to what special diet? Again, Islam is not only a religion, it's also a way of life with protocols, rules, and customs that govern all aspects of life. Since food is an important part of daily life, dietary rules have special meaning, so Muslims eat according to what special diet? Good luck with your answer, and now back to Studio B. Rich?
Thanks, Brian. Good luck, teams. We'll give you about 5 seconds. Okay, we're all set? All right, good. So, Roman, we always start with this side of the set, so we ask you to show your card first. If you can show it to the camera. You're a little hesitant. And you put, what is that, halal? The halal diet. You are correct. Good for you. 25 points will be added to your score. Chase, I know you wrote your answer down quickly. Did you write halal? You did also write halal diet. 25 points added to your score. So look at those scores. We have some high scores that we're going to end up with a high-scoring game. Well, all the marbles are coming up right now in today's Final Frenzy. It's still anybody's game. 20 points for each correct answer. Pick up those signaling buttons. Let's use them frequently, beginning now. After inventing the microchip, Robert Noyce left to form a new company. That company is now America's largest producer of microchips. What company is based in Santa Clara, California? Zeke.
Intel.
Intel is correct. In English history, it's the royal house that included George I, II, and III. In Chase.
Hanover.
Hanover is correct. It's also the home to Dartmouth College. It's the largest city in the Texas Panhandle and takes its name from the Spanish for yellow. What city is it, Mitchell?
El Paso?
Oh, no, sorry, incorrect. Any idea for Hempfield? Oh, we stumped you on Amarillo. In the book of Matthew, Jesus preaches to a crowd near the Sea of Galilee and teaches them the Lord's Prayer and the Beatitudes. What name is commonly given to this speech? Zeke?
Sermon on the Mount.
You are correct. In 1962, this planet was explored by Mariner 2. In 1990, Magellan arrived and discovered a channel more than 4,000 miles long. Chase?
Mars?
Not Mars, no, sorry. It was the most ambitious mission yet. To which planet? Roman.
Neptune?
No, we stumped you both on Venus. For 60 years, from 1872 until the election of Franklin Roosevelt in 1932, only 2 Democrats were president. One was Woodrow Wilson. Who was the other? Carter.
Grover Cleveland.
He's the one. How many rabbits would be produced by a single pair if each pair produced another rabbit every month? What strange series of numbers was created? It was Chase.
Fibonacci sequence.
Fibonacci sequence to solve this strange problem. Alexander Pushkin wrote the novel Eugene Onegin and the short story The Queen of Spades. What 19th century Russian composer wrote 2 operas based on them?
Tchaikovsky.
He's the one. John Bunyan first described this year-round festival where all sorts of worldly pleasures were sold. William Makepeace Thackeray used it as a title for his most famous novel, and it's now the title of a monthly magazine on culture and fashion. What is it, Roman?
The World Fair?
No, sorry, incorrect. And Zeke?
Vanity Fair.
Vanity Fair is correct. Although he wrote lyrical sonnets like Nothing False and Possible is Love, he is most famous for not using any capital letters in his poems. Amelia?
E.E. Cummings.
He's the one. In 1992, by extending the Main River, German engineers connected these two great rivers of Europe, creating an unbroken chase.
The Rhine and the Danube.
They are the two rivers. Yes, the American continents are henceforth not to be considered as subjects for future colonization by any European powers. Roman.
The Monroe Doctrine?
The Monroe Doctrine was the Presidential Declaration of December 2nd, 1832. And that sound takes us to the end of the round and to the end of the game. Congratulations, Hempfield. They are going to return for round 2. We hope to see you in just a few short moments.
Scorekeeping for WGAL8 Brainbusters, presented by Jennings College Consulting, where students discover the right college fit for the future. We'll return after this.
Congratulations, Hempfield. With a score of 425, they are returning for round 2. Now, coming up on the next WGL8 Brainbusters, we're so excited to welcome for the first time Lancaster Catholic and Middletown. It's going to be another fantastic show. From all of us here at WGAL8 Brainbusters, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. So long for now.